1 in 5 corporate executives scores high on psychopathic traits. That's not a metaphor. That is a peer-reviewed statistic from researchers at Oxford. And the terrifying part? It's not slowing them down. It's helping them win. But why? Let's go a little deeper. Think about someone in your life. Could be a boss, an ex, a family member. Someone who was magnetic, almost impossibly charming, but left you feeling drained, confused, or somehow like you were always the problem. You weren't imagining it. What you were experiencing has a name, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to identify it instantly. More importantly, I'm going to give you 3 warning signs that most people never see coming, until it's too late. But first, you need to understand what you're actually dealing with, because this isn't just about bad people. This is about a specific psychological profile that is simultaneously the most successful and most destructive personality type in the modern world. So grab yourself a drink, find a quiet place, get your pen and pad ready, and let's take a dive into the abyss, because what lives in the dark shapes who you are in the light. Act 1. What is the Dark Triad? In 2002, psychologists Delroy Paulus and Kevin Williams published a paper that would change how we understand toxic personality. They identified 3 traits that kept appearing together, not always, but often enough to define a type: narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy. They called it the Dark Triad. And here's what makes it so uniquely dangerous. Each trait on its own is concerning, but together they create something almost perfectly engineered to exploit the people around them. Dark Triad individuals are statistically overrepresented in positions of power: finance, law, politics, surgery, media. They're not failing in society, they're leading it, and most people around them have no idea what they're actually dealing with. So let's break each one down, starting with the most misunderstood of the 3. Act 2. Narcissism. Forget the selfies. Forget the Instagram posts. Clinical narcissism has almost nothing to do with vanity, and everything to do with fear. At its core, narcissism is a fragile architecture, a grandiose self-image built on top of a foundation that cannot tolerate being questioned. The narcissist doesn't just want to be admired, they need it, the way the rest of us need air. And what happens when that admiration stops? When you stop reflecting their greatness back at them? The mask slips. What's underneath isn't sadness, it's rage. Cold, calculating, targeted rage. Relationships with narcissists follow a pattern so consistent that therapists have given it a name: idealize, devalue, discard. First, they put you on a pedestal, because your adoration feeds them. Then slowly, you become ordinary. Then you become an obstacle, and then you're gone. The one telltale sign that separates a confident person from a narcissist? Watch how they respond to mild, reasonable criticism. A secure person adjusts. A narcissist retaliates. Now, narcissism is dangerous. But the second trait in the Dark Triad is, in many ways, far more calculated and far harder to detect. Act 3. Machiavellianism. In 1513, Niccolò Machiavelli wrote a book for a prince, a manual for holding power in a world where everyone is trying to take it from you. His core argument: it is better to be feared than loved. Morality is a luxury. The end always justifies the means. 500 years later, psychologists took his name and attached it to a personality type that embodies his philosophy. Not in medieval Italy, but in your office, your relationship, your family. What makes Machiavellians uniquely dangerous is their patience. A narcissist will blow up when they don't get what they want. A Machiavellian will wait. They'll build trust over months. They'll learn your weaknesses, your insecurities, your ambitions, and file them away for later. They don't need to dominate every room they walk into. They just need to win every room that matters. The easiest way to spot one? Remove yourself from the equation. Watch how they treat people who have nothing to offer them. The waiter, the intern, the person who just got fired. Warmth that evaporates the moment someone becomes useless is not warmth at all. It's a performance. Here's the open loop I promised you, the third warning sign. I'm getting to it, but you need to understand the third trait first, because without it, the warning sign doesn't make sense. And this is the one that most people get completely wrong. Act 4. Psychopathy. When most people hear psychopath, they picture a crime scene, a serial killer, a horror movie. The reality is quieter and closer. Psychopathy is not primarily about violence. It is about the absence of guilt, of remorse, of the internal friction that slows the rest of us down when we're about to do something harmful. Psychopaths don't feel that friction. They experience the world like a game, and they are very, very good at playing it. Here's what makes subclinical psychopaths, meaning people who score high on psychopathic traits without committing crimes, so difficult to identify. They've learned to mimic empathy, to perform connection. They've studied human emotional responses the way a foreign language student studies grammar, methodically, accurately, but without true understanding. You will feel seen by them. You will feel understood. Right up until the moment you realize that nothing you told them was safe. That Oxford statistic from the beginning, 1 in 5 executives. This is why. Emotional detachment in high-stakes environments looks exactly like composure. It gets promoted, it gets rewarded, and it gets dangerous when it has power over people who do feel. Act 5. The 3 warning signs. Okay, the 3 warning signs I promised you at the start. Warning sign 1. The pattern is always more revealing than the moment. Dark Triad individuals can be extraordinary in individual interactions. They're often at their most generous, their most attentive, precisely when they want something from you. Don't judge them by their best moments. Judge them by what happens after you say no. Warning sign 2. They never lose. Think back across your interactions. In every conflict, no matter how clearly wrong they were, did it somehow end with you apologizing? With you feeling like the problem? Someone who is psychologically healthy can admit fault. Someone high in Dark Triad traits cannot afford to. Their entire architecture depends on being right. Warning sign 3. And this is the one most people miss. Watch what happens to the people before you. Before you were the favorite, someone else was. Before you were the enemy, someone else was. Find those people. Ask them what happened. The story you'll hear will sound uncomfortably familiar. Act 6. How to protect yourself. So what do you actually do? First, accept the diagnosis. Not of them, of the situation. The single most expensive mistake people make with Dark Triad individuals is believing that love, patience, or understanding will eventually reach something underneath. There is no underneath. This is the personality. Trying to fix it is not compassion. It is a trap. Second, information is ammunition. Stop sharing. Not dramatically, don't announce it. Just quietly stop offering your fears, your ambitions, your vulnerabilities in conversation. What you don't give them, they cannot use. Third, build your external reality. Dark Triad individuals are skilled at making you doubt your own perception. Therapy, trusted friendships, journaling, anything that anchors your sense of reality outside of their influence is not a luxury. It is protection. Removing yourself from a Dark Triad dynamic is not giving up. It is recognizing that some games are designed so that only one person can ever win, and choosing not to play. Conclusion. Here's the thing about the Dark Triad that no one talks about. The traits themselves, confidence without empathy, strategic thinking, emotional detachment, are not inherently evil. In the right doses, in the right contexts, they produce extraordinary people. The danger is the combination, and the absence of any counterweight. Knowledge is yours now. Use it. Next week on Abysslight, we go into something even more unsettling, the psychology of why intelligent people consistently make terrible decisions. If you think you're too smart to be manipulated, that video is specifically for you. Subscribe so you don't miss it.